We are not Venom. What is up, everyone? Thank you for joining us once again on the Dstar01 channel. I am your host, Dexter, Arafiles, and today we will be going over, come on, say it with me, a KO, a knockoff, a bootleg, something that you get off AliExpress because you did not want to spend $80 when you first released. Instead, you wanted to pay $20 and crossed your fingers in hopes that this is a good figure because you wanted to save money. That's right. We are looking at the the Maf, not the Mafex, the Maf. A bootleg of Venom, the comic book version from Mafex. Actually, it says Mafex right there, but it doesn't say Mafex right there. So this is the comic book version of Venom, and we're going to look at him. We're going to see if he's worth the measly $20 that you can get him off of AliExpress. Once again, this is fake. This is a clone. We're going to see how it is. So enough of me talking. Let's open him up, and let's see how it is. I removed all that nasty tape that they put around this thing because it takes forever for me to unbox it when that happens. So look at this. We're just going to open them up, and look at that. Look how easy that is once you take off all the tape. No complaining here. This guy sold out really well at my store, www.dstar01toys.com. Here, reliable source for awesome action figures. That's right, this guy sold out really, really fast, but I do have other action figures for you guys to buy, and if you go down in the description down below, got a discount code. So, enough of me talking about that. Let's get into this figure. Let's see if he's worth your money. So far, so good when it comes to paint and detail, okay? This actually looks like a really good Venom figure, but I can tell you there's one huge problem that we really need to get into right away. Let's look how tall this figure is in comparison to the real deal Mafex Spider-Man. He is way shorter. My goodness. The scale on this is not very good at all, and that's so unfortunate. Let's see if we can look at the legs here. So let's look here. He is... he's supposed to be 6.5 inches. He's supposed to be slightly taller than comic book Spider-Man, to my knowledge. I did my research on this figure on the real deal, which I don't have the real deal, by the way. So yeah, he's actually quite small. But just to be sure, I know this isn't articulation and scale yet. I got to be sure he is slightly at 6 inches. I know he should be a little bit closer to 6.5. So what you're paying for is a much smaller scaled Venom. If you're looking for a monstrous Venom, that's not going to happen with this figure, unfortunately. So that is my biggest glaring negative with this figure right off the bat. I can tell just by pulling him out of the box that he's really small in comparison to the real deal. So if you guys want to correct me down below, if you have the real deal and take that ruler out and see how tall he is, he should be close to 6.5. This guy is 6 inches, a little bit below, so that's not where it should be. But besides that, when it comes to paint and detail, it's actually not bad. Let's get some more light on here. And as you can see, we do have some nice gradients. It's like a dark blue, which goes into a black right there, which gives it that like Venom look as it should. And when we look at all the other joints and stuff, it's actually quite tight in comparison to other like KOs and stuff like that, where they're super loose and floppy. Let's give this a flop test. It is not that floppy at all in comparison to other like bootlegs that I've dealt with. As the head falls off. But yeah, it's not a bad looking Venom. It's just not properly scaled. That's pretty much it. When it comes to paint and stuff like that, there's a lot of inaccuracies here. We can see that they really messed up on the white paint here. Yeah, you can see that it's like not painted well at all when it comes to the white. And you can see some fading here, some bleeding out of the white here to the black and stuff like that. That's not really good right there, as well as here. So that's my biggest issue when it comes to paint. Let's look at the face right now. Nothing too bad about the face, to my surprise. It actually looks pretty good. No real issues here. And I think that's pretty much it when it comes to paint and detail. I can tell you right now the negatives are the scale and the white paint that's bleeding out. Then again, you're only paying $20 for this figure. So I guess you're smaller scale, smaller money. Sure. Let's go with that. Now let's move right into articulation and scale. We already did the measurements on him. He's at 6 inches, but let's compare him to other action figures on the Spider-Verse and stuff like that. So what we have here is the original Mafex Spider-Man. As you can see, he's taller than him. That's not how it should be. We have a Mafex Real Deal Deadpool. He's taller than both of them. which actually they should be about the same height, so that's incorrect as well. So Venom is just wrong in general. We have a Toy Biz Swivel Man. Spider-Man right there, and he's taller than both. Well, he's about as tall as the Mafex Spider-Man, but he's about the same size as. Actually, no, he's a little bit taller than Mafex Venom right there. Let me see if I can stand him up better. Yeah, the scale is just off. Let's just put it at that. We have Real Deal SH Figure Arts, not far from home. Homecoming Spider-Man right there. He's smaller than both of them, as he should be. And of course, we have a Marvel Legends PlayStation 4 Spider-Man game. As he towers over both of them. So there you go. That's it when it comes to not articulated, just scale. Now let's go into articulation. We do have an up and down here at the toe, which is actually articulated, which is a really big surprise because most clones, this joint is extremely tight to the point where you can't move it, and this one moves. We do have a nice little joint here at the ankle there. We got double jointed knee, ball joint here at the crotch. Can he do ab crunches? Yes, he can. We have 2 at the midsection right there. Can he cross his arms? Can he hug himself? Can he love himself? That's all you need, Venom. You just need to love yourself. Yes, we can because of those wonderful... Actually, these joints are really nice for the butterfly joints. Those are really cool. Bicep sole right there. Bend at the elbow. We got ball and peg here at the wrist and 2 at the neck. This one's really loose, actually. This head keeps falling off. Might have to use some of my Kiki Fix-It joints. But so far, the joints and everything are decently tight. They're not too tight. They're not too loose. They're actually quite okay. So... quite polarizing this figure is. So let's look at accessories. We do get an assortment of hands, which we will always look at the end of the video. We do get the magnetic feet. Let's look at these real quick. So what we get here is these magnetic feet. I'm going to put it on my mic stand here, and yes, they are magnetic. So they do work really well. These might be a really good replacement for your Venom. And let's see, you get an assortment of webs, which we'll look at in just a second. But most importantly, this is something that I want to get out of the way. This is the absolute worst looking Eddie Brock face I have ever seen. The eyes are not painted really well. You can see the skin is moving into his pupils right there. Not very good. His lips are not colored well. This doesn't look very good at all. This looks like something that you get out of like a $5 toy from the dollar store. Yeah, not a very good Eddie Brock face. Let me see how the real one looks. Yeah, the real one looks much better. This one does not look good at all. It's missing a lot of tones and stuff like that. So, let me see if I could just remove this head and let's see how it looks on him. And there you have it. I mean, it looks like a generic Eddie Brock figure or Eddie Brock face, and that's what you get when you put that on. So, it's not awful. I mean, like I always say, when it comes to these clones, you're paying 20 bucks. If it's breaking apart in your hands, it's not worth it. If it's not, then it's okay. It's okay. So let's look here. We have a closed mouth Venom right here. Venom head right there. That looks really devious. So, yeah. Let's look at the webs. You just get an assortment of webs right here and stuff like that. And like I said before, we will always be looking at the hands at the end of the video. And when I start posing them, of course, you get your standard Mafex. I have so many of these stands. I really just need to start giving these away. There's just so many of them. I can't stand them. And the reason why I don't really like the Mafex ones, I mean, this part is really good and stuff. But what I hate is this. The arm is really big for a lot of 1/12 scale figures, and it just looks so obvious on their waist. You know what I mean? So that's my issue with this stand. I think that's about it. Let's just come up with a conclusion of this action figure. This is going to be quite a short video in comparison to my other reviews, because, you know, he's just a pretty standard, basic Venom figure. Let's get more light on him. What I don't like about this figure, he's too short. I think that even the real one is too short in comparison. They could have made him a little bit bigger, as he should be, in comparison to Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man. That's my biggest issue here, is that whenever clones come out, they're always scaled smaller. Just keep that in mind. Very rarely are they scaled the same. Yeah, big problem with that. Some of the paint issues I can actually overlook. I don't really mind them, especially since I'm only paying a fraction of the cost. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it when it comes to my biggest issues. When it comes to positives, he's not awful. I mean, he articulates like an action figure. He looks like Venom, as he should. If you've been collecting nothing but KOs, then this guy will probably work really well with other knockoffs and bootlegs. So I guess that's really a positive. So, yeah. But you know what? Who cares what I have to say? It's your money. You can spend it on whatever you want. You want to spend $20 on an improperly scaled Venom? Be my guest. Go to AliExpress and buy it. But for all you other people who are looking for 100% authentic, awesome action figures, you can go to www.dstartoys.com, your reliable source for awesome action figures. Thanks for watching. Do not forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time.
Hey you! Thanks for watching. Rate, comment, and subscribe. Where? Right here. Not there, right here. You. And thanks for watching. So, rate, comment, and subscribe. Right here, right there, right here. Yeah.